Good morning. It is 7 a.m. It is time for Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and I am here with you this Friday morning. And we're going to be talking about some music industry type business. So, if you have an opportunity to be able to get in on understanding how the music industry works, stay tuned. We're going to have a great show here this morning. Excuse me, I got to get my eyes together here. Since there's nobody on, I can do this right now. Okay, we're going to have a great opportunity to network and understand how the music industry is working today and how you can get in it. If you're a musician or a struggling artist, we want you to be able to get in and understand how that music industry works. We're going to take a short commercial break here, and we will be right back.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
I just love to see that. That is a fantastic commercial that Miss Sharifa Hardy did for us, and it is just something that we absolutely sometimes we watch it like a rerun of the Jeffersons or something. So it's always a good thing. But once again, my name is Rich Wallace, and I really thank you guys for joining us here this morning on Strictly Business. We are ready to rock and roll. We're ready to talk about some things. We are ready for this holiday weekend. For those that are going to be working, drink a lot of water, get yourself ready to be able to stand out and be opened, as we are going to be moving along today as we did yesterday, talking about the levels that people are trying to get to. And everyone is trying to get to another level. Yeah, I'm trying to raise my money, trying to get my business up to another level. And when we get to that other level, what are you going to get? What's going to happen? There's going to be another level that you're going to have to get to. So what we're saying this morning is let's be the best that we can be at the level that we're at. Wherever you're at right now, and as you're moving your business forward, how can you maintain where you're going to get customers from to maintain where you are? And that answer is, where am I going to get customers from? Is, hey, you're going to get them from the customers that you already have. Well, how am I going to do that? It's called customer service. It's a dying thing on the vine. We may have a special workshop just on customer service during the Mergers and Acquisition Conference coming up in August of 2013. So that may be something that you may be looking for. 2013 in August, we're having a conference called Mergers and Acquisitions. What's going to be able to happen at this conference? You're going to be able to walk in, get the information you need, and pick a business. There will be banks there, be financial institutions that will be able to help you navigate through the system of franchises, creating your own, starting a business from ground up. At day one, you will be the person that's able to do what you need to do. Strictly Business is helping you get your business to take off. What we're looking at doing here with this new format of allowing you to be able to create a business and start a business from the ground up at this conference coming up in August in the Ontario area. Strictly Business is going to be moving you at a whole nother level. So take a look at the opportunity to be able to advance your business or to start a business. How would I start a business? Understanding the tax rules, uh, making sure that you have a tax person that understands the tax rules. One thing about business, being a business owner and being in business for yourself, is don't take it all on. You cannot do everything. And just because you can, don't mean you can. Let me say that again. Just because you can does not mean you can. You have the ability to do spreadsheets, and I understand Excel, and you understand this, and you understand that. But is that the best use of your time? Remember, time management. We're going to keep digging into time management, tying it to where you need to be and why you need to hire or why you need to bring in qualified people on an independent contract or wherever it is to be able to do the things that you know how to do but don't have time to do. Driving through the car wash is probably the best thing they ever come up with, because a lot of people don't have that hour and a half or 2 hours to go out in their driveway and wash their cars. Well, in California here, you can't do that anymore. So, because we have a water shortage, we have an electrical shortage, a water shortage. Don't run your dishwasher, your washing machine during the day. Don't do this during the day because we need to conserve energy. But they want us to buy electric cars. Okay. Strictly business. We're going to stay on our tune and talk about growth in your level that you're supposed to be at. How do I grow where I am so that I can get ready to go to the next level? Have you done these things? Are you using a day planner? Are you using a calendar? Are you using a pencil or a pen? Is your calendar posted online so that other people can have access to it? Because you have to come back along and approve those, but you can say, hey, go to my website, go to my page and book a date. If there is a date available open, so put everything on, put your dental appointment on your calendar. Well, I don't want people to know I'm at the dentist. We'll call it something else, because you need to have yourself available or exposed to those that have the availability to be able to get to you to do what you want to do, to grow your business. You need to be able to make these things work for you and not you working for them. The reason you left your job is that you didn't want to work for them. That's why you left. And you started your own thing. Now you have to work at it constantly. If you were going to work for the company, I call it the company, at 8 a.m., then you need to start your job at 7 a.m., especially Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday mornings here on Strictly Business, so you can get the details that you need to get to make things happen. This is why we're here. I know as a small business person, I pretty much know everything I need to know about running my business. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You know enough to get started. What you need to do is gather those around you. I'm successful because I have an executive director that runs our charter school, that handles all of those things for us, reports on a regular basis, make sure that we know what's going on, and make sure that the people, the customers, and the students and the staff that we have get what they need. You have to put yourself with people like-minded, aggressive, and if you have a person that is so satisfied and settling and working with you or for you, guess what? You have the wrong person. You need to have a person that's always looking for an opportunity to make a move and to grow. You want your staff person to grow at a level so high that when they get ready to leave, replacing them may take two people. So you always have to staff yourself and put yourself in a position with others that are like mine, but may like doing it a different way. Because the ultimate goal is to get to winning. Now, I may have a way of winning that's different from the person that I brought in. Perfect example. When computers started with Office 2000, no, Office 111 or whatever it was, that I started out working Microsoft Word, self-trained, learned how to work it, and was sending out letters, doing all kinds of things in Microsoft Word. I'm a pro at Microsoft Word. Well, later on, my businesses got to do well. So I decided to take a class in Microsoft Word. Oh, what I didn't know, what the teachers taught me. And to let you know, I almost failed the class because I was used to doing it my way, the way that I created to make it work. It still worked. We still got to the ultimate goal. But the bottom line was I was doing it the long way or the wrong way. So when people come in to you and they say, hey, how about we do this? Listen, stop. Don't say, oh, we already got that. I don't want to hear that. No, listen. Two things will happen if you listen to someone else. You'll learn what they know. And when they walk away, not only will you know what they know, you now know what you know, and you can make a better choice at what you're trying to do. This is about business people. Some business people have the opportunity of making a mistake. Every mistake is $1,000 or more. Every error, which is an education, every education lesson that you learn in college, you paid for that, $30,000, $40,000. That's lesson learned. You get out here in the world and you start making other errors, and then you are trying to get where you can't log in or you can't be able to do what you need to do. So one of the main things that you want to know is how to be able to do things. Go to class. You don't necessarily go into class so you can do it. You're going to class so you can learn how to have a conversation, so you know what you're talking about. I took golf lessons. I don't play golf, take all day. But I took lessons so I could talk to golfers about whatever, about the topic that they need to talk about. If you're a football guy and you're talking to a guy and he hates football, you don't even bring that up, because you need to allow people to be able to tell you about them. If you do more listening and less talking, you will find out that people have the route to be able to connect with you and allow you to be able to move in the direction that you need to move in, because you've listened. Not only have you bumped your head, but you've learned those things. I have people come to me all the time and go, hey, we should do this. And we tried that and it didn't work. That doesn't mean it didn't work. That means that we tried and we were not successful at it because we didn't work it the right way. So when some new blood comes in and the new blood got all of these new ideas and how to make things work, I sit back, I say, okay, let's see about that. Let's see if we can design that to make it work. The Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce has an international chapter. When we started that international chapter, people said, let's do this, let's do that, and we did, and it didn't work. It was still there. Some other people came along and the international chapters here and there. And, we're trying to teach import, export. We got a relationship with the Long Beach Pier and the Long Beach and the Homeland Security. 5-6 years later, the International Chamber is doing international trips. The import, export classes have gone up. People are now learning, but the pandemic hit, so that threw that off. So now we got to go back and redo those things. So that's one of the things that you are now in a not necessarily a recession. You are in a position now to go back and do some of those things that you believe God told you to do back then. God is not a liar. He doesn't change his mind. If he told you to do that back then what you have to understand is that we have a God of now and not right now. So the people, and I get fussed at about this sometimes. I believe miracles are for people that don't know any better. I believe that real believers that come along have the expectation that was going to happen. So when someone was healed miraculously, it's a miracle. It happened right now. Well, it happened right now for those that were standing there watching. But it didn't happen right now for the person that went through it, because they went through it. They went through it. As a business person, you must go through certain things to get to that level. So that's why I try to tell you here, as we move from level to level, do not go to another level unless you finish where you were at that level. Now at schools, they now promote you because you're old enough or you're tall enough. It's time for you to get out of the second grade. It's time for you to get out of the 10th grade. It's time for you to go to the 11th grade. But I haven't done 10th grade stuff. I just aged up. And if you get to be 18 and you haven't got the high school diploma, guess what? Not only can you not go back, you got to figure out what you're going to do, because in the world today, you are now grown. But I was a kid yesterday. I had a birthday. We had a cake. We had some ice cream. And I'm grown after the cake and ice cream? Yes. So now you have to figure out what you're going to do. So if you attend one of our schools, Youth Build USA, Youth Build Inland Empire, get your high school diploma, there's some training facilities. You have to start thinking as an 11th grader, as a 10th grader, as a business person that's 50, 40. You still have to educate yourself. Well, I've been doing this. I'm a locksmith, and I've been doing a locksmith business for 30 years. I know everything about locks. Well, locks, if you didn't change, locks changed. The way we open our doors now are open sesame. the way we lock things down is someone tells us, if somebody has pushed in the code. I came to my office this morning and pushed the code in. It says several attempts have been tried to get into this door. They say it like that, but So what you have to understand is you may not change, but the world changes around you. And everybody knows, we see it coming. We don't need cashiers pretty much anymore. The retail cashiers or whatever it was, union, was one of the strongest unions 30 years ago. To be a retail clerk in a grocery market, man, that's a great job. Great benefits. Long term, they're going to always need grocery checkers. Well, the word always just came out. So the word always will never always be in a sentence that you need, because always ain't always. I'm going to love you always. Okay, right. I'm going to always be here for you. Okay. What is my stop? What is my seven times? What is my limit for not following you anymore when I said I was going to always be here? Because you're not always the same. You have to understand that as you grow and as you change and as you move forward, there are some people that are with you that just can't move forward. You take a 150 member church, they really don't want 10,000 people at that church. The pastor does, because cha-ching, more souls, all of that. But the 20 people that have built that to 150 people are comfortable. We don't want a whole bunch of 10, 20,000 people running in and out of here, because it's growth, change, things happen. Sometimes the people that are with you that started, that had the vision, when you have the vision, when you had that vision, the vision was not as large as yours. And sometimes you have to understand, I got to cut you. The NFL says, they start with a whole bunch of people in August, in June, April, August, July. But by the time September gets here, they've trimmed the fat. And even some of the people that they've sent away were extremely good and will come back. But if they don't continue to practice, if they don't continue to put themselves in, then they will not last. So you have to be ready for change. So when they say on your march, get set, ready, go, then you have to be able to go. How do you go? The backup quarterback got to practice every day, because he may get in one game and he may not. He may sit on that bench for several seasons. But if they win a Super Bowl, he gets a ring. One of those participation trophies, which we talk about so much. As you participate in things, it's necessary for people to be able to understand how things go. This is Rich Wallace. This is Strictly Business, and we are talking off the top. We're getting some topics in our chat room. We are trying to be sure that people understand how to progress in business. This last month was Black Business Month. Our time management sessions that we do here are nitpicks, but we're going to be opening up for bigger time management sessions with calendars and schedules and things that you need to understand to be able to manage your time. Because I know I've said it and I know you said it. My goodness, where did the day go? How is it that all day I've been here working, I didn't get anything done? We're going to be talking about some time management. We have a guest that just came into the studio. We're going to bring Mr. Roscoe Lee Owens from the Jazz Zone. If you are not familiar with the Jazz Zone, I think the Jazz Zone been around at least 30, 35 years, maybe even longer. Roscoe's going to give you a backup on the Jazz Zone. We're going to talk about how music industry works today. After the tragedy of Art Kelly and the things that he has to process through and all of those kinds of things, there was no mentor or true mentor that was there to guide him in the way he needed to go. Mentorship is very important, but you got to have the right mentor. And you have to be able to put yourself in a position to see what people are going and what people are trying to do. My name is Rich Wallace. This is Strictly Business. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we're going to when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Roscoe.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us, Mr. Roscoe Lee Owens. You have joined an episode of Edge TV Network with Strictly Business that shows at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday mornings of every week, God willing. My name is Rich Wallace, and I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine for I want to say all the way back to we was in grade school, but it seems like it's that for Mr. Roscoe Lee Owens. Will you say good morning to the people, sir?
Yes, sir. First of all, Rich Wallace, it does feel that way because you know when you lock in with a spiritual friendship, it takes you all the way back to grade school. So, you know, my brother, everything is good. My name is Roscoe Lee Owens, and I am proud to be one of the members that run from the desert to the sea with the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. I was listening to Rich Wallace trying to navigate a way in, and so I did. And I am proud to be here. I can start speaking about the Jazz Zone, but I want to follow your lead with the Jazz Zone. It has been around for many, many years. Actually, the Jazz Zone started in East St. Louis with my daddy. My dad, Jimmy Owens, was the drummer that came out here in the 40s, did the whole thing about Route 66 and played throughout that whole aspect. Just a notable is that the fact that he and Miles Davis, of course, in East St. Louis, there's only one school for African-American students. So it was Lincoln High School. So they were all in the same band during high school and that. And actually in the 40s, early 50s, my father, he owned a home, and a lot of the musicians from the Midwest came and stayed at the house for a while because of the fact that there was some separations going on with our community and our society as it related to African Americans staying in hotels and that. So it was a lot of family there through that whole process. What happened was the Jazz Zone began because my father became ill, and I just gravitated to being of assistance. I had been involved with art and music all my life, essentially just because of being around. But so then I took it on, and then I understood what legacy was. So when I understood what legacy was, I could not stop. My father passed away in '96 of cancer. And then from '96, the cats that was with my dad, we just kept on, and one just kept mentoring me, what you were talking about, a mentorship. Mr. Bob Lacefield mentored me for the last 4 years and how to maintain my dad's name. One thing that I do in the Jazz Zone that relates to my dad is that we're in black and white all the time. He said everybody got black and white, and if they don't, they need it. So if your band is like that, your uniform, it doesn't make a difference which way you wear it, but togetherness shows teamwork, and teamwork makes the dream work, you know. So that is my mission, and what we're doing right now. We've been out at Roscoe's Jazz Lounge in Long Beach, interacting with the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce out that way as well, inviting as many people to come to the Roscoe's Jazz Lounge and participate in some good music throughout the weekends. We're going to be there. Actually, today is what? Thursday. So we're going to be there Saturday, which starts the holiday weekend. So come on out. We're there from 8 to midnight. It's going to be fun. It's a $10 covers just to be sure that everybody receives a benefit from it. And the band is absolutely awesome.
So Mr. Roscoe, now you have several bands in the Jazz Zone, or several different groups. The Jazz Zone is, it's a zone for up and coming musicians.
Yes.
And you're not a promoter, but you promote them to get them into certain aspects so that they can grow in their industries. Is there and like us, we're seasoned in this arena. So do you take on young people that are trying to get in and bring them in and have them come and perform at some of the places that you do?
I've aligned myself with several of the musicians are teachers as well.
Okay.
So we have various mentors. And Jazz Zone is a collective of several musicians. Depending upon the event that we have coming is the decision on what musicians we will utilize to perfect a great performance for that. We've been able to come out with and perform for the Black Chamber of Commerce on several occasions. Depending upon the occasions, we've selected the different musicians to do that. So that what happened was, instead of having a band, which is, the same people all the time, what we have is a collective. So if you go to Facebook, it's Jazz Zone Network Collection, and that connects us with several different musicians. The opportunity to mentor there, I am wonderful to celebrate one of the new spirits up in heaven, and that's Barbara Morrison. So the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center has been a cumulative of mentorship and leadership and legacy building. And so that's where, we have, I'm going to say, made it our home for many years, although I grew up in Leimert Park anyway. But the fact that with Barbara Morrison, and I want to say this because September the 10th, the city of Los Angeles is dedicating the corner that Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, which is now the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center in Leimert Park, as the Barbara Morrison Square, which is the intersection right there on 43rd and Degnan. So with that celebration, again, it is the legacy. And what we have done is that I've worked with a partner of mine, Miss Linda Morgan Sam, who had the Living Legend Foundation, which in fact, we have joined forces in terms of being able to do something even more so, because over the 12 years that we've worked together, we've honored 195 different musicians as living legend through the city of Los Angeles, through what we're doing in Leimert Park. And we just came out with a coffee brand, which is the Legacy Jazz and Blues Legacy brand. And with this brand, we're kicking it off with what is called the pocket. The pocket represents what drummers are. drummers set the pocket for all things. Excuse me.
So now that you have, I'm interested in that living, you say living legacy.
Yes, it's a Jazz on Jazzabration, which is our legacy
So do
project.
we is it possible that the chamber and the legacy jazz zone could possibly maybe look at 2023 doing an annual kind of once a year thing, or if you don't already have something that we would honor some of the almost like the Music Hall of Fame, but it would be a Music Hall of Fame similar, created by the folks that really do the music. Because the Music Hall of Fame, there's some rich people doing that, making more money off of our dead musicians. But at the same time, is that something that the neighborhood needs to have? Because the people in the neighborhood don't go to the Music Hall of Fame.
This is called Strictly Business, and that is the business that we're in. How do we conjoin together and make something happen? To be able to have the Jazz on Jazzabration, which is now a nonprofit, and interconnect with the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce to do an annual project on music would be absolutely awesome. So what did the other folks say? That your people talk to my people talk to your people, and let's put this thing together. Because Rich, we have done so many different things together, and I've just in terms of your leadership and your dedication, I have to say this on air, has been inspiring to me personally, to many people, I'm sure. But I've seen the ups and downs and the consistency and the persistence. See, consistency and persistence is one of the major answers in winning, because you can't win when you stop. So strictly business, this aspect of the chamber with your leadership is absolutely needed. Strictly business. We as a society, then we as a people, we don't understand strictly business.
Yeah.
It's friendship business. Hey, I tell them, look here, I want a Black entrepreneur, but first of all, I must have good. I gotta have a good mechanic. I don't just want to have a Black mechanic. I need a good mechanic. But I'd like to be able to interact with our community and utilize as many African American businesses as possible. That's why we're all associated with the African American Museum of Beginnings right here in Pomona. They have here in Pomona, which has started was the Alliance, African American Alliance, which is a great thing. I'm trying to be sure that we correlate, because see, joining forces is a tag that I did when I was director with the African Marketplace back in 19 whatever it was, 19 anything. So, but the opportunity to have worked as a director with the Pan-African Film and Art Festival, with the African Marketplace, and with the Black Expo downtown with Harold Hambrick has been amazing amount of mentorship through Harold and James Burks, and with the I'm trying to think of his name right now, but anyway, that aspect, because see, my mentors can be younger than me.
Yeah.
If you understand what mentorship is.
Yeah, some of the young people that we begin to surround ourselves with now are, I beat up on the young people. Oh, they got microwave mentality. They this, they that, but they have the energy, they have the foresight, and I think if we bring the senior wisdom into what they're doing, we've got a great package. And as I'm sitting here thinking and rapping and talking with you, I'm like, okay, we could do in Black Music Month of 2023, to begin our annual legacy award and honor those that have gone on, those that are here. Also pull some workshops together on music and understanding how it works, notes and training and contracts. In the music business, the contracts that people are dealing with today are just crazy. And the young people that really want to get their thing out there are signing this and signing that. One of the things that I love, and I never really liked gangster rap, but I love what the gangster rap did. They ignored mainstream America and sold those tapes out of the trunk of the car. For those that don't know, the cassette tapes used to be little things like this, you know. They would put them in the thing. So for those that don't know, when I say tapes, CDs, I don't know what CDs because they're all download now. But these young men had a product and they sold it in the neighborhoods and the people that were listening to it, and they forced their way into Capitol Records and NBC and CBS and ABC and all of these places that are now making millions and millions of dollars off of these young rappers or young singers and these kinds of things. America's Got Talent, these shows, all of these different talent shows are making tons of money now off of these wannabes. And I believe that what the rappers did was force their way in the industry, created their own. Now they have their own record labels and their own this and their own that. And I'm just so amazed with that. So I digressed to that. How is it that the other people are getting cheated on some of these contracts that are out? Are you dealing with contract basis and things like that?
No, but we have people that are within. See, personally, Roscoe, Lee Owens, I deal with the flow. I'm in the zone. There are people that are with us that handle various. It's just like you. Hey, if in the operating room, maybe I'm a general surgeon, but we need to work on the heart. We need to work on this. So we got the experts available to make sure that happens. It's like what we're talking about in terms of doing something together. We have the experts to put that together. But contracts are very important. Contracts are so important. All they have to do is look back in history and the contracts they were getting in the late 40s and 50s. But it was beating people up with contracts. They sign one thing, which means another. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Well, wait a minute. You've been on the road. You've been spending this money. You owe. Wait a minute. I thought I was getting paid. No, you owe. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, well, we give you. This is. I want to be taken correctly. A white girl in a Cadillac, you know what I mean? Going with your bad self, So they were paying people off with whatever.
Cars, yeah.
And so what you're saying about them youngsters, I want to end up with, and they ended up right with the Super Bowl in halftime, biggest thing that's happening on there, and then because they you can say, well, oh, you can't do that. Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. We can't distribute this. Oh, really? Open that trunk, brother. Let's go.
Let's go.
Move to this corner, that corner. It was like, wait a minute. We learned something about the network through the how do we escape through the Underground Railroad? So the Underground Railroad, you can put that in history, but you can bring it right there. That was the Underground Railroad.
They did a great
job.
In the music industry.
Which dropped a whole lug on other industries because they told brothers, man, you ain't got to wait on them. Mm-hmm. Strictly business.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Oh, really? Yeah. And then the hard part of that is, how do we not cheat each other? Yeah. It's like I look at, and this is political to some degree, Black Lives Matter. They came out about their police and killed somebody, but they're not coming out when we killing each other. Black Lives Matter all the time. Where are we when we do what we do? Black businesses matter. Where is the onslaught to, okay, we're going to come into this town and in this month, we're going to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. We've identified, 20 different restaurants in California. And, we promoting go there or whatever, because strictly business is us.
And, you're going to get us in trouble because you brought it up.
Yeah, well.
My thing is, Black people, we spend enough money in mainstream We spend enough money in travel to own an airline. We spend enough money in hotels to own one in every major city. We
Ooh,
spend enough money in all of these different avenues that we have out there. So when they talk about what matters, and I look at the news over the weekend, and and by right, we are truly upset when a white policeman kills a black man unjustified. By right, we should be complaining. We should bring it to the fore. But when you look at the paper, and the white man killed one black guy on a Saturday, but black people killed 100
yeah,
across
yes.
the country.
And,
You know,
and that's disturbing.
it's dead. I don't mind. I don't care who shot you.
Yeah,
That mother that lost that child from that police officer, well, no matter what color he was, the police is just as scared as anybody else. I'm not on the police side, but the police put their little outfit on every morning and they walk in fear of
yeah,
somebody taking their lives. So it's back in the Dodge City days, quick draw. The first
yeah,
one out, back in the Dodge City days, which is why they took guns away in some of the cities. Now,
yes.
how you advocate whether you should have a weapon or not have a weapon or this or that or all of these different things, it is political. It is your political choice to make those decisions. But when you have teenagers going into middle schools killing people, and there's no prayer in the middle school, there's no reference of a higher being of any kind in the middle school. I'm not saying you got to be with my Jesus, my God. You could be with Muhammad, because at the end of the day, it's back to dirt. Ashes to ashes. Back at the end of the day, it's back to dirt. So what you did in this uniform may shine and it may not shine. So
Yeah.
leaving a legacy, like the music industry, leaving something for people to be able to train from. And what we got left with as a people is it still remembers the back of the bus. It still remembers a separate water fountain. It still remembers, even though we didn't have to deal with that. I've had some of my mainstream friends come to me and they go, well, what are you complaining about? You wasn't a slave. But I have a slave mentality because the people that taught me were slaves.
Yeah,
So, and they told me, watch out for the man. Don't be over there with them folks. You ain't got no reason to go over here on Fifth Street. You need to be on Martin Luther King Boulevard. So now you can be and if you're on Fifth Street, you should be the Fifth Street guy. So I say to my people and to any people, Asian people, Hispanics, we belong to all of these different organizations. We work with everyone, but everyone in our community needs to join together. Now, I had a session a few weeks ago and I told people, we all can't work together. There is a reason for another Black Chamber of Commerce someplace else. There is a reason for the Black Business Association. There's a reason, because there are millions and millions of people, and you ain't gonna never run out of people until God says, that's it, I'm tired of y'all. So you're gonna always have, and service the ones you have. And I say customer service the ones I have. The ones I have will bring us others. Growth comes through people. And if I treat you good and I'm good to the Jazz Zone will bring me Jeff the Great, another musician out there, or someone else. There's enough, because we can't be everywhere that we need to be, because it ain't enough for us. So there's enough wealth, there's enough music, there's enough this, there's room for everybody. We don't have to hurt each other for the corner.
That's right.
There are more corners out there than we can even cover. And if we cover each other and not allow territory, drugs, relationships, or any of that to come in and seize our mind from our brother. So Strictly Business is saying, let's get into business. Let's open up a t-shirt shop. Let's open up this. George Jefferson showed us there was money in the dry cleaning business. I don't know no Black dry cleaners.
Moving on up, the dry cleaners are going out of business because everybody's so casual out here. But a couple of things you hit on, and I just want to say this, because as we speak of this, the setup, the contracts, the legacy. This is why my wife is saying, what? And I went back into life insurance, because not only are musicians, which are not working regular jobs that don't have those benefits. I said, well, wait a minute. What's happening when you're gone? Or in fact, if you get deathly ill, what's happening? Economically, strictly business. You need to have something set aside. And so when I'm talking to them, oh man, that costs a lot of money. I said, well, you wait too late. But it's not too late for your grandkids and your kids. It's not too late for you. If you think it costs a lot, but if you look at your car payment, you look at your insurance on your car, you say that if you equate that to that, it's cheap. It's cheap. They will not let you ride your car out of the lot unless you insure it.
Oh, yeah.
They will not let you put your name on a property unless it's insured. But what they will do is let you make up your own mind if you don't think you're worth anything and you don't insure yourself. And
they won't let you come to some places and do an event as a jazz zone unless you have insurance.
That's right. That's right.
So,
in fact, yeah, you working for the city, okay, $1 million coverage that you need to have in order to even participate. Oh, you know, what you're doing with the chamber, certification as a Black-owned business, major scenario, certification as whatever kind of business, but you need the certifications in order to do what? Move into even grants that are available.
And you talk about insurance. And I want to say to my small business people out there, you need an insurance policy. I know that's usually the first thing to go when money gets tight is insurance, because you're paying for something you can't see, and you're not being forced to do it like your car insurance. So, and you're not being forced. So, and we don't want to be forced to do things, but if we don't leave. We got signs on the side of the freeway trying to raise money to put you away. We got a GoFundMe page because we didn't see or foresee that you were not going to be here. You know, we didn't foresee that there was going to be an accident. You can turn on the news right now and somebody died on the freeway this morning. Pick a freeway.
Yes.
Pick a freeway. Pick a city. You know?
It's just big one. That's right.
So
That's right.
it doesn't, you have to be prepared in your business to cover, to CYA, they used to say, cover yourself, cover so that you have the coverage you need to be the business person you are. And a lot of companies won't even do business with you because you don't have insurance. A lot of banks and financial institutions won't let you come in. They won't let you give away food on their parking lot unless you have insurance. So as a business person, you must have a tax ID. If you're working off your Social Security number, stop. Tax ID is free. Call the Black Chamber of Commerce. We'll tell you how to get one. You must do a DBA, doing business as. That's going to cost you probably $50. The business license of the city that you're operating out of, you're going to need a business license. Cities are now cracking down. They need a piece of the pie. They want $132 or $55 or whatever it is for that city license for you to be able to go to that city. And we have a print shop in Ontario that we just go in and print. We don't sell to the public. And the city of Ontario is saying you need a business license. You in one of our buildings, but we just, this is like in the back warehouse. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you are here, we need to track you. So if you do sell something out of there, we want a piece of it.
Yeah.
As a business person, I say to you, get your house in order. The level that you're at is about getting your house in order. That's what we're trying to do as a business, is to make sure that your house is in order and the things that you do have something to watch yourself grow. I mentioned yesterday on the show that if you worked all day long and you went into the house and it's 4 or 5 o'clock, 6, 7, whatever time you end your day, and you didn't make a sale, that's a free day. You didn't push your product. You didn't make a new friend. You didn't establish yourself as something new in an area. You didn't walk into a business and say, hey, how you doing? You know, my name is this. You know, what do you guys do here? So connect daily, especially if you're in the sales game, especially if you're in the streets. Now, Mr. Roscoe,
Yes, sir.
it's warm, it's hot outside.
Yes.
I mean, it's 105, 103. Next, in 6 months, it's going to be below zero. So
Right.
there's never, ever a condition that's perfect. In Southern California, maybe San Diego, we got some perfect days going on down there. Do you stop because it's raining?
Do you know, actually, see, this, when you're saying that this morning, I do my walk, but I knew I was going to be on here at 7. So I did my walk. I got back here at 7 minutes to 7, but then I kept trying to find my email, and I'm looking at the success email, but you sent it to the music at jazzhome.net. And when I went over there, I said, oh, there's the link, because I kept trying to go to Zoom, but it's not Zoom. It's StreamYard. But anyway, again, persistence. I'm not gonna stop. I'm getting in this show. I'm supposed to be on. It's 7, and I'm looking. I'm saying, what am I gonna? But you know what? You keep working through it until you succeed. The success I had this morning, and I'm thanking you for that, because I needed to walk even earlier because it's too hot. So I said, shoot, my walk is generally at 7, so I said 6:30. And I'm gonna thank you again, because I generally do a walk, just nice walk, 2 miles, but this morning it was a power walk, heart rate walk. I said, shoot, Richard, get me ready, bro. I want to be rich when I get home. So at any rate, I do reach out and thank you for that extra, because Strictly Business, and Kijana has said some great things about you in watching your show as well. With Strictly
Richard Kijana Show. What is Kijana Show? What is this show called?
His show is Solutions Over Situations.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's on at 6 a.m. every morning.
6 a.m. every day.
Every morning on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, but it comes to StreamYard as well. But it's on Facebook. You catch it on, just like, actually, I was watching you on Facebook while I was trying to get here, because I said I need to be knowing what's going on. And so, but again, the opportunity to continue, and I want to give a shout out to your grandson, because when we're talking about youngsters, that gentleman is like, okay, wait a minute, on his own, grabbing this, doing that. He was out there at Roscoe's doing a thing with the president of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, Long Beach, and he and another videographer was out there working. I was somewhat surprised, but knowing him, I wasn't.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thank you for that. One of the things that we have is that when you mention stop, as an entrepreneur, success is right on the other side of stop. A lot of times the fear of success will get inside of you and slow you down, because what happens is the more success, the more responsibility, the more stuff, the more people, the more this, the more that. And it says somewhere in the scripture, I might not quote it right, but to which much is given, much is responsible. I mean, if you are praying and believing for this abundance and all of this kinds of things, you got to have some cherry pickers. I want to go back to what we said at the beginning of the show. Build a team around you, a team. And if you, in first 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 time in building a team, you will get a hater on that team. And you may need that hater to sharpen your skills. I believe that says bad advertising is still advertising.
Yes.
The fact that you're talking about the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, how you talking about it, it came out of your mouth.
Talking about it.
You're still talking about it. Because ain't nobody talking about nobody that ain't doing nothing.
You talk about a mentor like Jesus. He said, well, look here, I got to have him because I got to get on the cross.
I got to get to
so he's going to be in the program, And you're gonna have an integral part.
Well, and people come to the chamber, they ask me, they go, and I take the route that you just said, and you know, it's kind of a Jesus route. People say, well, what do you do? What do you? I said, well, you know, I don't know. What do you say we do? How do you look at us? I don't know what the other groups do. He said, well, what's the difference between you and the NAACP? Well, what the difference is I don't know. I know what we do. We try to make it so that you can have business. We try to put you in a place to grow. We try to make sure that you're growing in the place that you're at, because it's not always about moving. Sometimes it's about staying and sticking. Because if you stay and stick, Muhammad Ali used to say, you stick and move, you stick, you know, you walk up on them. And when you're doing these kinds of things, you're making yourself visible. Mr. Aubrey Stone passed a few years back, and Mr. Stone used to say, hey, showing up is half the game. Walking in the door is half the game. So I say to small businesses, this is Friday. Walk in some doors. I know it's a little warm where you are, and if you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, it might be raining, but walk into some Black business doors this holiday weekend. Show up. You show up, and we'll all show out, and it will be a fantastic weekend. So I want to give Mr. Roscoe an opportunity to tell where they are this weekend coming up here in the Southern California region. There's a few things going on. The Black Chamber of Commerce is not having any holiday stuff, but I want to put it in your mind. Be sure to watch out for mergers and acquisition coming up in August of 2013. We have a fashion show in October in Palm Springs. Our website is blackchamberofcommerce.org. You can do two things there. You can go there and check us out, and you can go there and join. And you can go there and list your business in our directory, which doesn't cost anything. So be a part of some group. I'd like to see you a part of this group at the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce.org. But if you're not, join something. Be a part of a movement that's actually moving. Not just some cheerleaders out there, because you do need cheerleaders, but let them do the cheering. Mr. Roscoe, tell us about the Jazz Zone. We got a couple of minutes here to go, and we'll see what we're talking about here.
Well, first of all, thank you for that. And yes, from the desert to the sea. So it's an opportunity to be able to join one and participate in all. I want to say that about the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. But this weekend, we're going to kick it off at Roscoe's Jazz Lounge, which is Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Long Beach. It's right there on the boardwalk of Broadway. And it is phenomenal. We will be featuring amazing drummer that is a living legend, and several other musicians that will be following in. That is an opportunity for you to come out. We start at 10 o'clock. Start at 8 o'clock. That's going to be Saturday, September the 3rd, 8 o'clock to midnight. Come on out. $10 cover charge. You're going to be amazed. And I'm going to tell you, they got air conditioning. It's cool. So come on out and enjoy the Jazz Zone and enjoy yourself. We're going to do jazz and R&B soulful mix.
All right. That's what's going to be happening this weekend. And I guess I was talking so fast. I thank my people in the chat, Catherine Francis down in San Diego, and Sheila over in Pomona, and Pelson Pope down in Houston. I got the dates wrong about the Mergers and Acquisition Conference in August of 2023. Thank you guys for correcting and making those things happen. This is Strictly Business at edgetvnetwork.net. My name is Rich Wallace, and I had Mr. Roscoe Lee Owens from the Jazz Zone on, talking about how the legacy of artists that have gone on and creating the legacy of the new artists that are coming out. And we're going to put something together for Black Music Month in 2023. So we're going to have an honoree where we're going to honor past and future legends in the music industry for Black Music Month in 2023. So pressed down, shaken together, running over. It's getting ready to happen. This is Rich Wallace. You had a wonderful morning of Strictly Business. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Be careful. Wear a mask if masks are required. Don't wear a mask. Keep a distance. Be safe, because I need to see you Wednesday back here on Strictly Business at edgetvnetwork.net to be a part of what's going on and why we're going to be moving forward. And once again, thank you, Mr. Roscoe, and have a wonderful day.